What if I told you one tiny decision you barely notice in your 20s could determine whether you retire comfortably or never retire at all? Not because of your salary, not because of luck, not because you're smarter than everyone else. In the next few minutes, we're going to simulate two identical lives that begin on exactly the same day and end in completely different places. The only difference is one decision. Picture an ordinary Tuesday. You're 23. You just graduated, moved into your first apartment, and today is your first day at a new job. Your banking app is open on your phone, and there it is. Your first paycheck. Not huge, but yours. And in that exact second, without even realizing it, you make a choice that will shape the next 40 years of your life. A choice that doesn't feel important at all. The choice to do nothing. You look at that number and think, I'll start investing later. When I make more money. When I understand how it actually works. When things settle down. Right now, it makes more sense to grab the new iPhone, split a pizza with friends on Friday, refresh your wardrobe. You only live once, right? Life is meant to be lived now, not postponed, for some numbers sitting in a brokerage app you haven't even opened yet. That thought sounds reasonable. It even sounds responsible. You're not racking up credit card debt. You're not drowning in loans. You're just living your life. But this is exactly where the simulation begins. A simulation of a life where someone never started investing. Not because they didn't have the money, but because they always found a reason to start tomorrow. A year goes by, you're 24. Your paycheck creeps up a little and your spending creeps up right along with it. A new laptop because the old one feels slow. A trip to Cancun because your friends are going. The newest phone because yours is outdated after 18 months. Money comes in and goes right back out, like it was never really there. You've got maybe a month or two of expenses sitting and checking, and that feels normal. That's how most people around you live. So why would you be any different? 3 more years pass. You're 27. New responsibilities show up. Rent goes up every lease renewal. There's car insurance. There's the auto loan on the car you bought because you got tired of ride shares eating your paycheck. Every month, a chunk of your income gets auto-drafted straight to payments. It looks like adulting, like normal progress. But really, it's just a different version of the same pattern. Money gets earned and immediately spent instead of working for you. Meanwhile, in a parallel reality, there's another version of you. Same person, same diploma, same first paycheck on that same Tuesday. But this version made a different call. They set aside just 10% of that very first paycheck and put it into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Not because they were a finance genius. Someone just told them, start small, the important part is starting now. And they listened. This version of you didn't give up on living. They still went out for tacos on Friday, still traveled, still bought new things now and then. The only difference was one habit. Before spending the paycheck, they paid themselves first, then lived on what was left. It's called paying yourself first, a tiny habit, barely noticeable over 1 month, but not over a couple of decades. Back to the first version of you, the one who never invested. You're 30 now. You've got a stable job, a decent salary, and on Instagram you look like you're crushing it. But look a little closer and there's almost nothing saved. Maybe enough in checking to cover a month if you lost your job tomorrow. No assets working for you while you sleep. Every dollar you've ever earned has already turned into a thing, a night out, an experience. And it's gone for good. At that same moment, the other version of you, the one who invested, already has a modest but very real portfolio. Not millions, obviously. Not, but an amount that grows on its own every single year with zero extra effort, purely because of time and compound interest. That money is working 24/7, 365, while you binge Netflix or fly to Miami for the weekend. It doesn't ask for a day off. 10 more years pass. You're 40. This is usually when the first real reckoning with time hits. The realization that time isn't unlimited and that decisions made at 23 have now turned into actual numbers on a screen. The version of you who never invested checks their account and sees a total that's roughly a few months of salary. Not great, especially compared to how many years have already gone by and how many are still ahead. It's not because this person was lazy or bad with money. It's because inflation was quietly eating away at the buying power of every dollar that just sat there in a savings account, earning basically nothing, or worse, sat in cash doing literally nothing. Money that isn't invested doesn't just stand still, it slowly loses value. It's like holding an ice cube in a warm room and being surprised when it melts. Meanwhile, the other version of you, the one who started small back at 23, is watching a completely different picture unfold. Compound interest is a force that starts out painfully slow, almost invisible, and then suddenly accelerates like a snowball, rolling downhill and picking up size with every rotation. The first several years barely felt like anything, but after 15 or 20 years, the effect turned explosive. The money started making more money than the paycheck did. Now picture the moment these two versions of you accidentally run into each other. Say at a college reunion. Both look equally successful on the outside. Similar blazers, similar cars in the parking lot, similar stories about work. But one of them carries the quiet calm of someone who knows. Whatever happens, a layoff, a recession, an unexpected medical bill, there's a cushion that keeps growing on its own. The other one is carrying a hidden anxiety they're trying not to show. The anxiety of someone whose entire financial future depends completely on whether the next paycheck shows up on time. More years go by. You're 55. You're approaching the point where your ability to keep working physically starts to have limits. The version of you without investments realizes something terrifying. Whatever Social Security ends up paying out won't come close to covering the lifestyle you're used to. And there's no nest egg to make up the difference because there was never anywhere for one to build up. There's really only one option left. Keep working. Not because you want to, because you have to. This is one of the most painful moments in the simulation. Imagine being past 60, your body asking for rest, and you still have to drag yourself out of bed at 6 a.m. and go somewhere you honestly don't want to go anymore. Not because you never dreamed of slowing down, but because there's no financial cushion to make that dream possible. Freedom of choice disappeared quietly decades ago, back when that very first paycheck got fully spent instead of partly invested. Now, look at the parallel version of you at that same age. A portfolio that started with small monthly contributions has, over 3 decades, turned into an amount that generates real passive income, enough to cover the basics. That doesn't mean a life of luxury with zero worries, but it means options. The option to retire early if you want to. The option to keep working because you enjoy it, not because you need the paycheck. The option to walk away from a job that stopped bringing you any joy a long time ago. The difference between these two realities isn't luck, it isn't a trust fund, it isn't some genius understanding of the stock market. The difference comes down to one decision made at 23 and the discipline that kept that decision going for decades. One person invested 10% of every paycheck into simple, diversified index funds and didn't panic during market downturns. The other one waited for the perfect moment, a moment that never actually arrived. It's worth stopping to ask, why is starting so hard in the first place? It's not about the money, it's about psychology. The human brain is wired to value a reward right now far more than an abstract benefit 20 or 30 years down the road. Buying something today feels real. Investing for a future that feels distant and blurry feels abstract. And until that abstraction becomes concrete, most people keep pushing the decision to some vague later. But time doesn't wait around for you to feel psychologically ready. Time moves at the same pace no matter what you decide. Every month, every year without investing isn't some neutral waiting period. It's a lost opportunity that can never be recovered because compound interest works best over long stretches of time. Losing the first 5 or 10 years costs way more than it seems because that's exactly where the foundation for everything after gets built. Picture one more moment in this simulation: a financial crisis, the kind that shows up roughly once a decade. Markets crash, headlines scream about disaster, everyone around you is panicking. The version of you who never invested watches from the sidelines, feeling a strange sense of relief. Thank God I wasn't in that. At least I didn't lose anything. But that sense of safety is an illusion. Because while the market eventually recovers and keeps climbing, that person keeps standing exactly where they started, with the same zero assets they had before. The version of you who invested also watched their portfolio dip on their phone screen. It was uncomfortable, stressful, sometimes flat out scary. But this person didn't panic and didn't sell everything at the bottom. They just kept contributing the same amount as always, buying assets at a discount without even thinking of it that way. And when the market recovered, because historically it always has, the portfolio didn't just return to its old level, it blew past it. Now let's jump to the final chapter of this simulation. You're 65. This is usually the point where people are supposed to retire after decades of work. The version of you who never invested runs straight into a harsh reality. A real retirement isn't happening. You either keep working part-time, or you drastically cut your standard of living, or you lean on your kids for help, if that's even possible. The dream of traveling, of slow mornings with no alarm clock, of spending time with grandkids without worrying about money, stays a dream. The version of you who started investing at 23 walks into that same age completely differently. Not because they earned dramatically more money over their lifetime, but because they let time and discipline do the heavy lifting. A portfolio built from those same modest monthly contributions has grown into an amount that can support a decent life without depending on a paycheck. This person gets to choose. Keep doing what they love because it's fulfilling. Travel. Spend real time with family without the constant weight of financial stress hanging over everything. Here's the real point of the simulation. It's not about becoming a millionaire or getting rich overnight. It's about the difference between a life where money controls you and a life where you control your money. This is the actual reality for millions of people who genuinely believed they'd get around to it later. Later when the paycheck's bigger. Later when they finally understand it. Later when there's more free time. But later is the most expensive word in personal finance because every year of delay costs more than lost profit. It costs time you can never buy back. So let's go back to that same Tuesday where this whole story started. You're 23, first paycheck on your phone. And in that exact second, you have a choice. Not a choice to give up living for the sake of saving. Not a choice to become a Wall Street expert overnight. Just a simple choice. Start small. 10%. One automatic contribution into something simple, something you actually understand, and let time do the rest of the work for you. And while you're watching this video, somewhere out there right now, someone is making that exact same decision. Someone's looking at their first paycheck and thinking, I'll start later. And someone else at this very moment is opening a brokerage account and making their very first small contribution with no idea just how much that tiny move is about to change the next 40 years of their life. The choice is always yours. But unlike money, time can't be paid back or bought later. It moves forward whether you're ready or not. And the only question that actually matters isn't when's the perfect moment to start. It's how much longer are you willing to wait for that moment to arrive on its own? Maybe right now you're thinking, what if I'm not 23 anymore? What if I'm 35, 40, even 50? and it feels like the train already left the station. Worth running one more small simulation here. Picture a third version of you, one who didn't start investing at 23 but at 35 instead. 12 lost years that can't be recovered. That version will still end up with less than the one who started earlier, but they'll end up with far more than the one who never started at all. Because the real difference isn't between early and late, it's between eventually and never. The worst case scenario in this simulation isn't the person who started late. The worst case scenario is the person who never started at all, always justifying it. Bad market timing, no extra cash. I just don't understand this stuff. You honestly don't need to understand it deeply. You just need to grasp one simple idea. Automatically setting aside a small chunk of your income into a diversified fund and leaving it alone for years is already 90% of the job. The rest is just patience. Also, think about how much money actually flows through your hands over a lifetime. The average American earns a number in the millions over a 40-year career. The question was never whether you have enough money to invest. The question was always where that money flows. Into things that disappear in a few years, or into an asset that keeps growing while you go on living your normal, everyday life. Here's the final picture of this simulation. Two possible endings to the same life. In one ending, a person leaves behind debt or an empty account, and their kids end up having to help cover their expenses in their final years. In the other ending, a person leaves behind more than just memories. Real capital, something to pass on to the next generation, a safety net that protects the family even after they're gone. Both endings start on that exact same Tuesday, with that exact same first paycheck. The difference isn't fate. The difference is a decision you can make today, right now, while you're listening to this. Not tomorrow. Not with your next paycheck. Not once it makes more sense. Today, even if it's with the smallest amount you can spare. 40 years from now, the future version of you won't remember every paycheck you earned, but it will live with the consequences of what you chose to do with them. No one can go back and invest 10 years earlier, but everyone has the chance to make today the day they finally started. Because the best time to invest was years ago. The second best time is before this day becomes another excuse to wait. If this simulation changed the way you think about money, subscribe to Wolf Accumulate. Because sometimes one idea can change the next 40 years of your life.